poultry farming, hatching of the eggs is the most crucial part of the poultry venture. Hatching provides chicks, which will be a breeding stock in your farm. Many changes are taking place in hatcheries since the introduction of computer monitoring and control of the machines and automation of many day-to-day hatchery operations. This has increased awareness of the role of hatcheries in disease control. Managing a hatchery effectively requires a lot of effort by the hatcher manager and staff. In order to attain the highest level of chick quality, it is important to understand and adhere to some basic principles of hatchery management. Regional Vet Investigations Lab has the mandate to ensure that hatcheries have a high hygiene and biosafety measures. This helps farmers get clean, disease-free and quality chicks for brooding. Dr. Joseph Mushabi, the officer in charge at RVIL, elaborates more on how they ensure hatcheries are in a good state to conduct the chick hatching business.
We carry out a function called poultry breeding farms and hatchery inspection. In other words, before the farmers get the day-old chicks, they have to obtain them from a reputable hatchery. Our role in this case as a regulatory agents is to be able to certify that that hatchery is managing its affairs in accordance to the disease control procedures. So we carry out an annual inspection of the hatchery to see the hygienic status of the hatchery, the management of the hatchery, and we also test for a disease that is transmitted from the mother chicken through the eggs to the day-old chick which the farmers buy. That disease is called program disease, and therefore we have to ensure that the breeding farms do not have that disease because it can be transmitted to the day-old chicks to the farmers, and therefore it will bring a lot of losses to the farmers.
The major principle in hatchery management is biosecurity and hygiene. Biosecurity is paramount to any poultry operation, especially in breeding farms and hatcheries. In any hatchery, all equipment entering must be cleaned and disinfected or fumigated. All staff and visitors must shower and change into clean clothing that is provided by the hatchery. Kenbreed Farms is one of the best-known hatcheries located in Naivasha that takes biosecurity measures to serious effect. On this farm, hygiene is paramount, as not just any visitor can access their hatcheries without taking a shower or being disinfected. Dr. Ayeko, with a team from RVIL, have visited the farm to check on the hygiene measures taken by the farm. Here, they ensure to check the walls floor, the egg loading zone, the hatching trays and the cleanliness of the hatching machines.
Hatchery hygiene inspection is a procedure that is legally required of all hatcheries in Kenya. What we do in hatchery hygiene inspection is we swab surfaces in various rooms of the hatchery, various equipment, and we do this to ascertain the level of hygiene in the hatchery. For example, when you find that the hatchery hygiene is good, it means that the quality of your product, which is the day-old chick, is going to be good. But if hatchery hygiene is bad, it means the quality of the products that are leaving the hatchery is going to be compromised. And you're going to have hatchery-borne infections in your chicks. And that is what the Directorate of Veterinary Service tries to achieve by ensuring that annual inspections are done for all hatcheries. Now, we have swabbed various rooms in this facility. We started from the egg reception area. Actually, the egg grading room. We went to the egg reception room. We took surface swabs for various surfaces. We went to the egg incubation room. We have then moved to the egg hatching room, the chick processing room, and finally the dispatch area. In the past, we have had very good results for this particular farm. We hope this is going to still be the case. And we have had good cooperations as well with this farm in the past. And it is required of anyone who wants to get into this business to know that hygiene is part and parcel of good production practice. Even to farmers who are going to receive the chicks, when you receive a good product, but you don't ensure hygiene in your own facility, then it becomes counterproductive.
A clean sanitary hatchery will decrease the spread of diseases between hatches and helps ensure a higher level of chick quality. Experts from RVIL ensure to swab the hatchery for further testing and screening. A swab is the process of using a small piece of absorbent material attached to the end of a stick used for cleaning a surface, applying medicine or collecting a sample of substance.
Something similar to the cotton swab that you use for your earbuds. Use that kind of a swab, and you actually to wipe the surface, and then you put it in a transport media, and this transport media is then going to be analyzed in the laboratory for the number of bacterial colonies. Are you going to have high colonies, low colonies? When you have low colonies, it means you have good hygiene. But when you have a high load or a high count, then it means the hygiene is not very good.
Using disinfectants that have been scientifically formulated will help to produce a sterile environment before hatching commences. This converts to laying the groundwork to prevent contamination after hatching, achieving microbiological control and avoiding infection of a day-old chick. It is important to use products you can trust to make sure your hard work pays off. George Muheso, the CEO of Kenbreed Farms, has managed the hatchery for more than 20 years. Kenbreed Farms has more than 100,000 birds, both broilers and layers. This farm also has different poultry management systems. These are the cage systems for the layers birds and the deep litter system for the broiler birds. He also has hatcheries, which he ensures have the best hygiene and biosecurity measures to ensure the chicks hatched are of good quality and good for the farmer.
We've been in operation since 1995. We hatch both broiler and layer chicks. We hatch twice a week, and we have offices all over the country: Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Nairobi, Thika, and many others. We also export the chicks. Now, in a hatchery, the conditions that exist in the incubators are very good for bacterial growth. So it's something that we are fighting every time to make sure that the bacterial loads are down, because the humidity, the temperature are perfect for multiplication of the bacteria. These bacteria, if there are too many, they'll cause chick quality not to be very good. So you'll find high mortalities on the farms, and this will definitely not be good for the farmer and for the hatchery. So we use the veterinary investigation labs in Nakuru to help us to monitor our levels of hygiene by taking samples of from various areas of the hatchery to check on the colonies or the numbers of bacteria that we have. This will also help us because we use disinfectants to ensure that the disinfectants are working. It's necessary for them to do it also for licensing. But the licensing part is not the most important for us. The most important for us is to know our levels of hygiene so that we can improve where it's necessary.
Since the establishment of the hatchery, George has been using services from Kabete Labs, where he had been sending his samples for screening and sanitation verification. Years later, he started using services from Rift Valley Veterinary Investigation Labs, who visit his farm after every chick's dispatch to ensure his hatcheries are clean and disinfected for the next hatching period.
We have been using the RVIL services from devolution time. Before that, we were using Kabete, which is a Kabete labs that are in Nairobi, but now we are using the veterinary investigation labs that are closer to us in the region, which is Nakuru. We are using the VIL that is closer to us has been better because we can get them even outside the times of the annual inspections.
The RVIL technologists ensure to collect samples from hatcheries and screen for the presence of diseases. If they find any diseases, they restrain the hatchery from dispatching the chicks because of infections. This will definitely cause a loss to the farmers and hatcheries.
The hatchery license is suspended. They are given time to disinfect, to clean the premises, and they are allowed to call us back for an inspection, after which if they have good results, then they can be licensed.
Testing of the samples taken from your farm does not take long. Within 2 weeks, the vet labs will provide a concrete report from the screening done on the samples collected.
For the bacteriology results, it will take us 3 days to have the results out, and we can communicate these results by email, by phone, or they can come for a physical copy of the report.
For all these services offered to farmers, there is a small statutory fee that is charged. With only 1,000 Kenya shillings, a farmer is able to have a clear picture how safe and clean the hatcheries are to conduct a day-old chick dispatch business.
The service is chargeable, but at a very subsidized rate. There's a statutory fee of 1,000 shillings supposed to be paid to the DVS, and then there are charges for the samples that are taken for the bacteriology work.
George states that since he focused on hygiene being a priority on his hatchery farm, he has never regretted or had losses and complaints from customers through his dispatch. After the break, we shall take a look at the breeding stock and how to control diseases such as pullurum that is very hazardous to chickens and humans.